I don't know if I've thought about humor in so much as that I use it. But now that you say it, I do.
And have taken all the humor out of it. Yeah.
No, not at all. But I'm saying now that you say it, I do find everything funny.
Yeah.
So I for some reason, and maybe it's just in the face of adversity, I inappropriately laugh. So I am the person known in meetings to laugh at the wrong time,
Okay.
let's say, or inappropriately
Same. Yeah.
giggle. And yeah, we're very
Yeah, yeah.
similar. But it's just because I see the humor in so many things, and sometimes the irony
Yeah.
is funny to me. And so I think that the sense of humor has helped me through some very difficult times. I grew up with a very challenging relationship with my mother, who is a very narcissistic, very amazing, fascinating woman, but was not really able to be there as a mother in any capacity, and was a very negative person to me. And I think in some ways, sort of seeing the humor in a lot of different things was an outlet to protect myself.
Yeah.
And so maybe some humor comes from nervousness or insecurity, of which I, can be very well healed into both. But I also think that I enjoy life more when I'm happy.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
but the thing is, I don't watch a lot of comedies. So you'd think that because I'm laughing all the time that I'm a big comedy consumer, but I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I picked up on it because when you were telling your story about your MS diagnosis, you were joking about wearing, Donna Karan support hose and, making jokes about what the doctor's coming in. And so I think for something as difficult as that is, you almost have to have a sense of humor. Or the alternative is to just, like I said before, crawl under a rock and have a pity party. And you said that you do that for 5 minutes and then you move on.
I do feel I can be very nervous, very sorry for myself, very upset for a solid 5 minutes. But then it's a funny thing. And maybe it's because I have experience. So if somebody asks me questions about something, I always say, look, I'm very resilient. Just so much so that I joke that, I probably have an attachment disorder because I'm able to remove myself from any situation and cope. But it's because it's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
I've had enough of it that I know that even though it will be painful and difficult, I have the skill set and the practice to recover. And sometimes it's as simple for people as knowing they will be okay. And I often will say to myself, don't worry, you will be okay.
Yeah, you've done it before.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have to say it to yourself.
Sure.
Like you have to actually self-talk. Don't worry, you will be okay. And there are times where even now, embarking on this whole new life of consulting and speaking and, working on my book, I have to say, don't worry, you will be okay. Because I was cradled in the arms of BMO for so long that it was a safe environment.
Yeah.
And so I think that any time we feel unsafe, there is an aspect for me of humor. Now, mind you, I am also just laughing all the time in general, but in the dire moments, I find that humor is my go-to.
Well, there's studies that show that people have had illness and, they use humor and it helps get them out of it, or police and nurses and the emergency room, they use sort of that gallows humor to deal with very stressful things that they're seeing on a daily basis.
And actually, you bring to mind this funny story, but I was once in the airport in Montreal and I was pregnant with my daughter who's now turning 16. And I lost my footing. And with MS, this happens a lot. So I'm like a stunt faller. I'm a professional faller too. I can fall very gracefully. I'm like, oh. And so I don't know what happened. I slipped, but I fell. And when you're going through the TSA, there's, sometimes there's areas where people are very removed from one another and there's an open gap space towards those x-ray machines.
Yeah.
Somehow I slipped and like a torpedo. Now remember, I'm pregnant. So visualize this. On my back, I fall. My cane goes flying and I go like a torpedo right through the entire thing, through the middle of two x-ray machines, through to the other side. Now, I was so embarrassed. And there's all these business people and everyone's so in a rush and grabbing all their stuff.
And put out that you would fall and delay them.
And I started laughing so hard. And all these
what else can you do?
Right. All these people rushed to me. And my coworkers with me were dying laughing because I could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
And people were saying, are you okay? I could not even get the words out.
Yeah.
Because all I could picture was how funny it must have looked to see a pregnant woman fall and slide like a torpedo. I mean, I wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
But those moments can also be really, really embarrassing. And many people living with various disabilities or mobility issues, it's very nerve-wracking to fall. And I have actually found that humor for me, when I spill something, knock something, my leg tremors, my arm does something weird that I don't expect, and I knock stuff over, I have just made it part of my repertoire.